the New Year's has just passed, and you were probably out there setting grand resolutions like, this year, I am going to be perfect. Well, spoiler alert, that is not happening. Something more relatable is likely looming. An existential crisis. But don't sweat it, because honestly, we are all just trying our best and figuring it out as we go. I am a living proof. My life is a work in progress, and I am hardly qualified to offer advice. Yet, I am willing to share my imperfect perspective, and maybe, just maybe, it might resonate with you. Why I don't take life seriously, and you shouldn't too. Now stay with me, because I've discovered a liberating truth. Nobody truly has a life together. Some people are just more skilled at pretending. It's like they're starring in a reality show called Fake It Till You Make It. And today, I want to explore why that's not only okay, but also essential. It's time to let go of the need for perfection and stop taking life so seriously. Because in reality, perfection is an illusion that's holding you back from truly embracing the journey. As famously said by the renowned author Oscar Wilde, if you want to be a grocer, or a general, or a politician, or a judge, you will invariably become it. And that is your punishment. Now, this might sound a little harsh, but Wilde was onto something. Being stuck in a role or trying to fit into a perfect mold is not the answer. Because at the end of the day, life is about the journey, not the destination. Trust me, we're in this together. So let me clarify. Embracing a carefree attitude doesn't mean abandoning your goals or dropping out of school or renouncing worldly pleasures to retreat to the Himalayas. No, not taking life seriously simply means letting yourself be free from the grip of fear and expectations, and allowing yourself to revel in the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. Let me ask you, how often have you found yourself sweating over something small? Like that awkward conversation you had last week? Or the time you waved at the person because you thought that they were waving at you. But unfortunately, there was someone behind you? Well, here's the kicker. No one else remembers. Because people are too busy worrying about their own cringeworthy moments to remember yours. So, the next time you find yourself stress sweating over something small, ask yourself, will this even matter in a week, a month, or even a year? The answer almost always is a no. You take everything too seriously and you want everything to be perfect, and you think that achieving perfection will make you happy. But the truth is, perfection is a myth. You know, like those 30-year-old hazy photographs in a perfectly curated album, which, although imperfect, never fail to leave a smile on your mother's face. Once you realize this, you'll stop obsessing and start doing. Once you overcome the fear of imperfection, you start taking action. I'm pretty sure we've all come across the headline that D. Gukesh created history as the world's youngest chess champion. And if you're anything like me, it was probably while you were doom scrolling on your phones at 2 a.m. right after a video about cooking the perfectly poached eggs. And let's be real for a second here. Your first thought wasn't, wow, how inspiring, but rather, what in the world am I doing with my life? It's moments like these that send you spiraling into a pit of self-loathing. You start to scrutinize every decision you have ever made, and your confidence plummets. Anxiety takes the driver's seat, and before you know it, the fear of taking risk paralyzes you. You can't help but wonder, why bother trying when I'm never going to be as great as the others? Or what's the point in starting now when I'm already behind? But you don't have to live like this. The answer? Make your own timeline. You are not meant to follow someone else's path. Sure, people your age might be out there, achieving greatness, breaking records, starting companies, or I don't know, climbing the Mount Everest barefoot. And while their stories should be a source of inspiration, they shouldn't be the gold standard that you measure your life against. Focus on your journey, your passions, and your happiness. Because success isn't a generic one-size-fits-all solution. You have the power to tailor it to your unique strengths, passions, and happiness. Now, I'm not pretending to have all the answers. In fact, I still struggle with procrastination when faced with an important task, because my mind conjures up this idealized outcome, and the fear of not meeting those lofty expectations holds me hostage. And I end up waiting until the last minute to even start, despite knowing better. I sit there staring at my to-do list like it's a villain in a horror movie until the deadline grabs me by the collar and screams, "Just do it." And that is what happens when you take it all too seriously. So, to overcome this, what I've tried building over the years is to have a just do it mentality. And this has helped me stop chasing perfection all the time. Because in reality, life can be anything but perfect. What we forget in our quest for success and perfection is that life isn't a checklist that just has to be ticked off. Rather, it is a collage, ready to be filled with moments. Moments of happiness, moments of laughter, and moments of complete and utter chaos. I mean, we can all agree that you only live once. So, just do it. And if that decision does not take you to the place where you wanted it to, then you learn from it. It's like one of those riddles where you have to pick a door. The only difference here is that if you pick the wrong door, you get to close it and move on. And now you know not to open the same door again the next time. Each choice, even if it doesn't work out, brings you closer to the right one. So, take a deep breath, relax, and stop taking life so seriously. Instead, try taking a step back, and you'll discover that you have created space. Space for things that truly matter. And what are those? Meaningful relationships, joyful moments, and laughter. So go ahead and take that trip to Manali with your friends and discover the beauty of living in the moment. Think of life like a maze. Sure, your end goal is to find the exit, but why not Stop and admire the head sculptures along the way. Yes, you will hit a few dead ends. That is inevitable. But those dead ends teach you something, like which way not to go. Just remember that life is a masterpiece that you create for yourself. And just like art knows no boundaries, neither should you. Because no iconic painting was ever crafted by coloring within the lines. Thank you very much.